I'm Lord Michael Martin of Springburn, and I'm here to support the Colourful Heritage project. And I hope that you will enjoy listening to my stories about my connection with the Asian community in Glasgow throughout my life. I was born in 1945, the year that the Second World War ended, and in my day Glasgow was a very, very busy, bustling port. So I was used to the Indian community or the Asian community being there in the form of the seamen. The Great Finnieston Cran down at the docks, and there's a rotunda, a round building. Next to that was an Asian seamen's hostel, and where the seamen, when the ship was in port, the seamen stayed in the hostel, and some of the local boys could pick up some language, some Urdu. I'm not an expert, but say Urdu. They could ask the time and they could say hello, and there was a respect for the seamen. They were recognised as being hard-working, and there was even a company in Glasgow, a shipping company called the Clan Line, and they employed a lot of Asian seamen. I was used to seeing members of the Asian community at an early age, but I would say in the mid-50s there was a large migration into Glasgow, and like any migrant that a member of a migrant community, a job has to be found quickly, a source of income. And in those days, cars were luxuries. So the buses, the tram cars, and the trolley buses, they were the vehicles that took us to work. It was easy for a Pakistani immigrant to get taken on as a conductor. It's got to be remembered that in the 50s, there are a lot of Asian immigrants were ex-servicemen. They had served in regiments which were affiliated to the Scottish regiments. So a lot of the men that went on the transport, they were ex-military, so they knew how to wear a uniform and they were expected to be smart and to get up early in the morning. I mean, some of them had to get up sometimes 4 in the morning to get on their shift. And I would say that was the first real contact that the Pakistani community had with the majority of the population. They saw that the Pakistani conductor tended to be more considerate. They would even come off the bus or the tram car. Mother had a go chair with a baby in it and could easily have 2 children at her hands, and this conductor would be helpful, get her on the bus, get the children on the bus, and that meant that an affection built up and a respect. But a lot of those conductors then went on to open shops at the street corners. Now, you think, I mean, Glasgow in those days was bustling with tenements. The concentration of people was, they were in the thousands in the tenements. And the Pakistani shopkeeper had a reputation for opening very late at night. Nowadays, the electricity and the gas is paid for through the bank, but in the 50s, the gas and the electricity was paid through a meter, and you needed a shilling to get, an old-fashioned shilling, to get your supply of gas or get your supply of electricity. And if you ran out, the lights just went out, they just blacked out. And a favourite was to go to the Pakistani shopkeeper for a shilling for a meter. There was that appreciation that the Asian community, I would say, they first went to the Glasgow Transport. Many of them remained. Some of them said, this is a job for me, and became inspectors and managers. But a lot did have their eye on the business world, and it would start with a small shop. So there might have been 2 or 3 brothers, and 2 brothers would stay in transport to get a steady income, and the other brother would get in the shop. And it wasn't unusual to see a brother in his Glasgow Corporation transport uniform, which was a green uniform, helping the other brother serve in the shop. So they were holding down 2 jobs. It was, I mean, the hours that you had to work in transport was long and hard, and then get into the shop and help your brother. And all of that was to build up a family. And I think that there was a significant admiration for the Pakistani community. And every main road that I know of in Glasgow now has an Asian shopkeeper, or several Asian shopkeepers. There are many reasons why the community assimilated into Glasgow easily. I think that the first thing that's got to be remembered is that Glasgow at one time was the second city of the empire. Shipbuilding was absolutely, there was dozens of shipyards up and down the Clyde, and this created a magnificent wealth from Dumbarton right well into to Glasgow. I think that by the time the Asian community came along, the Glasgow people felt, well, we've had immigrants come before, and the one thing they've done is that they've become a credit to the community. If anything, the Pakistani community and the Asian community in general has shown the city of Glasgow is that work ethic has always been there, and whatever they've got, they've worked hard for it. And I think as well as that, well, my father was a merchant seaman all his working life. They lived abroad and they saw, I mean, they understood the fasting laws and Ramadan and the various laws. There was a lot of the boys that joined the army, and they were posted abroad, and they came in contact with Asian soldiers and Gurkhas and members of the Indian regiments. So there was people within the community who could understand. There was differences, and there were differences, but there were differences to respect and to rejoice in, rather than feel, well, these are strangers and we keep them at arm's length. It wasn't like that. So I think in Scotland that there's been that tradition of you've got your way of living and we've got ours, and let's respect one another. The Scots have a tradition of travelling throughout the world, and that come back into the communities. I think the success is they've came and have integrated into the community, and there is as much Scots as there are Asians. They're as Scottish as I am. They've made a valuable contribution, a more than valuable contribution to the economy. But I don't think in terms of what they've done for the economy, because that gives an impression you've got to, there's got to be a payment or an entry fee. But they've came and they've lived as neighbours, as friends, and they've showed kindness to one another. And so I would say that it's the integration into the community, where there's young boys and girls going to Highland dancing. I take an interest in the piping world. I don't play the pipes as well as I'd like to, but I play the pipes. And at the College of Piping, there's young Pakistani boys coming to play the pipes. So then also the health service, just round the corner, in my days was the Glasgow Eye Infirmary. And as an engineer, you used to get sparks when you were buffing things in your eye. And the only way was to go to the Eye Infirmary. And it was an Asian nurse who just put me at my ease, because I didn't like anyone touching my eyes. Some people, it's their knees or whatever. And just calm down, and here's how I'm going to do it. And she took more of an interest in the nervousness of me than getting this particle out of my eye. And she did it. It probably took her longer because I was so nervous, but she was going to make sure that I was going to be calmed down. And my thoughts go, the National Health Service, the fantastic contribution that's been made there, you know, doctors, nurses. I would say in the 50 years, what they've proven is that they've come in, they've asked of no man, and they have made their way, and it was tough going, and they've integrated into the community. And the way I could tell it is this, is that if there was a by-election tomorrow in a constituency anywhere in Scotland, and they put up an Asian candidate, no one would even remark on it. It would be, well, so what? It wouldn't be the Asian candidate. It'd be, what's this candidate's name? Sohan Khan or whatever. Then that would be it. It was, they would. I don't even think that anyone would even remark on the fact that we've got an Asian candidate here, because the community is just the Pakistani and Asian community is there, and they're as much a part of the community as I am, and I come from an Irish background, and so what? And someone else, their grandfather came from the Punjab. Well, that's it, isn't it? They're living here, and they regard themselves as Scottish, and why not?